Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dynasty Warriors 9. I'm Serious JG, and this is as I play here, this is the biggest, by far, break that I've had between this last video and this video. I've had a long break of recording this game. I actually played the game a bit. You'll be able to see I have unlocked free mode. Free mode came about because I got kind of bored playing with Cao Cao, and also I basically got into a circumstance where I had some time to play the game but didn't really feel like recording. So I went ahead and jumped out of Cao Cao's game. As you can see, is a little Cao Cao path leading down to Chapter 5 now. Well, okay, so I actually got away from playing the game for a while. First of all, I played as Cao Cao because I was like, well, you know, unlocked one of the ladies. Let's give the ladies a chance to do something, and found out that Cao Cao is one of, there may be many characters like this. She only has one chapter. You do confusion at the capital with her. She has a complete little story, an intro movie that tells us who she is with the narrator jumping in, and then at the end she has a little ending. After she helps Lu Bu kill Dong Zhuo, she tells him that she's not going to go with him anymore because she basically considers herself a bad person who manipulated Lu Bu into murdering someone on her behalf. And Lu Bu's like, well, okay, I'm not going to make you come with me, but you just make sure that from now on you're your own person and not the pawn of your father. And it was actually kind of nice. Would have been better with real voice actors. But that unlocked free mode for anybody that I had free mode for any character you've already unlocked through story mode. So for example, after that, thinking that it would be fun to unlock some characters for Wu and not quite getting it, I started this story mode as Hamdingers, aka Han Dong. And the thing to bear in mind is that people don't seem to start at level 1. They seem to start at some fraction of the highest level character you have. So with Hamdingers, he wasn't quite at level 1 when we started, and I had access to all the gems and fancy horses and accessories and stuff that I'd gotten as Cao Cao and Cao Cao. So it was a little bit easier, and I kind of sped through. I did go through in the confusion at the capital chapter where we're fighting Dong Zhuo. I went up north to see what those missions were about. They weren't terribly fascinating. You're doing a series of missions where you like destroy Dong Zhuo's mountain base, which prevents reinforcements from going down to Chang'an, but none of that mattered. Or Luoyang, excuse me. But none of that matters because you have to go to Luoyang and kill Dong Zhuo by yourself. So one of the things I've discovered in all my off-screening is that none of these side quests matter, because with Cao Cao, I got in mind that I wanted to unlock Cao Pi and Zhenji. Which means that off-screen, skipping past most of the cinematics and stuff, I actually played through starting to Divide chapter, and then the Man Who Ruled the Plains chapter, and got down to the Sleeping Dragons Awakens, which I haven't played. Basically, I played through all the way to the point where we've defeated Yuan Shao. So there's battles where we fight our way, we defeat Yuan Shu, we defeat Yuan Shao, we defeat Lu Bu. All these things happen as plot battles in these chapters. And in all cases, you can just run up to, and this is exactly what I did with Yuan Shao. I bypassed everything having to do with burning the supplies at Hu Chao. Every other side thing, I just made Cao Cao ride directly to Yuan Shao's main camp, ninja rope over the wall, kill Yuan Shao, and win the battle. So it's just kind of dumb. So now I'm trying to remember where it was with my on-screen, because I was kind of like, oh, I played around with Wu, but then realized you don't really get anything from doing that. I still unlock, like I unlocked Tai Shi Tzi by winning as Cao Cao. So there's, unless I just feel like playing through the whole game once and not showing you different kingdoms stuff in my LP, and I don't know if I'm going to want to LP through this game 4 times over. It's actually really kind of underwhelming so far. But if my plan is vaguely to play through and show you all the different kingdoms, there'd be no reason to switch back and forth at all. So, like, it might be fun to switch over to Zhao Yun at this point and see what's going on with him. Potentially. I can pretty much guarantee you that Chang Gong and Lu Lingqi have, like, little one-story chapters. Yuan Shao probably has a chapter that plays through towards the man who ruled the plains. That might be actually more fun to play as Yuan Shao to get through chapter 3 and 4 than anyone else. But I'm thinking Dong Zhuo and Zhang Jiao just have one chapter stories. So it's time for Starting to Divide. We can play as anybody who starts as a character in chapter 3. So we could play as Zhu Zhu, Guo Jia, Yu Jin, Jun Yu, Man Chong, other Jun Yu. We can't play as Yue Jin, Li Dian, or any of these guys because we'd have to start in their chapter and play them through. Like here, the Wu story, I started playing as Han Dong, so I carried him all the way through to chapter 3. But if I wanted to use Cheng Pu, or Sun Jin, or Huang Gai in chapter 2, can't do it. So whatever. I think what makes sense to do is to play as, keep playing as Cao Cao. You'll see it's going to be even easier than it already was because now I've used him off screen to advance the plot to see what would happen, and thus he's extra leveled up. So any side quests I do will be purely because I want to give the game its best possible chance to show us interesting extra plot stuff, because I want you to bear in mind at all times we could probably just, there was like 1 or 2 missions that there was some other objective, like you can't let a certain officer be defeated, which kind of made it tricky. You have to stay near them and protect them. But otherwise, pretty much we can just yeah, they're not even grayed out. You just don't have Jihao Dun or Jihao Yuan here. Oh, and somebody's complaining. Somebody popped up a couple weeks ago, complained, and then stopped leaving comments about the way I was pronouncing these characters' names in my last RTK series. And they've changed the way you pronounce half these characters' names between 8 and 9. It's like, Kowai, you guys figure it out and tell me, because I'm relying on you. Anyway, alright, let's get going with Cao Cao. Chapter 3.
The world of my design shall emerge from the chaos.
In theory, these would be the most interesting chapters of the game because they're the ones that prior Dynasty Warrior games have not covered that well. They tend to just jump straight from the defeat of Dong Zhuo to having all 3 of the eventual kingdoms fairly... I'm making this very confusing and I'm not getting any gameplay in. In the... So technically, Wei, Wu, and Shu, none of them exist until after Cao Pi forces Emperor Jian to abdicate, which happens after the death of Cao Cao. So even though they use the term Wei, Wu, and Shu, the novel is mostly over before those technically exist. But you do have a sort of military political group organized around Cao Cao, a military political group organized around Liu Bei, and an political military group organized around the Sun family. So the things that we call Wei, Wu, and Shu kind of exist, but they're not technically kingdoms called Wei, Wu, and Shu yet. The prior Dynasty Warrior games tend to jump straight from the fall of Dong Zhuo to the fall of Lu Bu to those 3 groups being fairly well established, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on as they build themselves up. And this game kind of covers a bit more, like, you know, all of the drama with the Emperor fleeing from Gaozhou and Liu Si. Because there are various characters who are very important for a brief point in the story, but they don't last that long. Like, I think I just got their names wrong, but those 2 Dongzhuo generals I mentioned. Or Yuan Shu. It's people who were very important for a while, but not in the long term. So some of these little chapters here, in theory, this should be interesting. Let's try. Character's history will be overwritten. Are you sure you want to proceed? Sure, as long as he doesn't level down. I don't think he'll level down. Maybe this means I can't start from level 4. Like, I think they just mean as far as, like, quick saves and stuff. I think if I quit out of Chapter 3 as Cao Cao, I should still be able to start Chapter 5 with him because I've already unlocked it. Defeating enemy officers quickly will cause nearby enemies to flee in fear. Huzzah. Big tracts of purple land here.
Yuan Shao, the anti-Dong Zhuo coalition succeeded in defeating Dong Zhuo's forces. They soon disperse, with each lord returning to his own lands.
Even though they didn't actually get Dong Zhuo.
Dong Zhuo, who had fled to Shandong.
And that's not me making fun of the game story. That's what happens in the novel.
As the chaos of the land peaks, each of the lords begins to make his move. The first to show their hands are Yuan Shao and Yuan Shu.
So it's Yuan and not Yuan now?
The forces of the two become embroiled in a vicious battle with each other. The other lords soon take sides as the land is split into the two factions.
This is broadly what happens.
However, though they had chosen sides in this battle, they still had their own desires and agendas. Each soon began to make plans to fulfill those desires.
That's pretty much true too. Cao Cao ultimately destroys Yuan Shao, and the Sun family, once they've got their own force established, they're not really in that huge bother to take after their, in theory, benefactor Yuan Shu. So those two alliances that they showed there are kind of broadly the thing, but no, in neither case are they go past getting surface.
The fields of Yu province seem to be neglected.
Are you guys standing in water? Or what? Oh, it's raining.
Indeed. I've heard that remnants of the Yellow Turban's army in Jing province have been
so
running
everybody's
wild
like
in the
soaking
region.
wet. I don't really see rain falling very well.
Such fear and
This is very
uncertainty,
weird looking to
the
me.
farmers are afraid to tend to their fields.
We
It pains
are
me
farmers.
to see the land
Dun,
in
dun,
such a
dun, dun,
state.
dun, dun.
By the way, Cao Cao, why
What
did you
happened to
choose
my
Xucheng?
voice?
There are better places you could have chosen as a base.
This is his home base, man. Get out.
Yu province is famous for producing many men of talent.
Jugglers.
With our army so few in number, we will need that talent to stand alongside the other warlords as equals.
Other cities are famous for producing large, untalented armies.
Please forgive my sudden intrusion. You are Master Cao Cao, are you not?
You guys need bigger, broader hats
Yes,
to deflect some of this rain.
And who might you be?
It is an honor to make your acquaintance. My name is Guo Jia, and this is...
I'm almost positive I've seen this cinematic before without rain. So this is kind of interesting. This feels weird that they're all standing around outside in pouring rain.
I see. You knew that I would be coming here?
If you are to stand
Okay, there
against
we
the
go. Now I'm
chaos,
actually seeing the rain
first
get
thing
rendered.
You require is talented officers to serve you.
Hopefully my capture is good
Therefore,
enough. And
I
I'm talking
knew
over
you
the
would be
cinemas. I know the
drawn
voice
here
acting
to
sucks. Don't worry
Xucheng.
about it.
I see you have it all figured out.
But yeah, depending on the camera angle, sometimes you can see the rain being rendered, and sometimes you can't. It just doesn't show up very well against some backgrounds, I guess.
I am pleased to have met two men of such intellect. I ask that you join me in my quest to forge an ideal world.
I ask that you join
I
me
shall do
in my
whatever I can
quest
to help
to
you
speak
achieve your
haltingly.
There will be more than just us. Xucheng is filled with many talented officers. I am confident
I
they will
guess
be
I
drawn
don't
to
think
your
I realized
cause
just
as
how much
well.
the voice acting in
Master
Dynasty
Cao Cao.
Warriors 5 got me into this series. I mean, some of it is laughable, like the incredibly silly, squeaky voice Jing Sai, who still make... I still have, like, leftover fondness for Jing Sai, even though in later games she bears very little resemblance to her Dynasty Warriors 5 characterization. But anyway, no, the... Okay, Cao Cao's face appeared on the left side of the screen and he started to say something, but then it vanished. So, yeah, in my off-screening and even on-screen with some of the things we've done in prior videos, I have learned that doing anything other than starting towards the next main quest is just going to be a big waste of time. Going around trying to capture cities, like, you know, ooh, there's red blobs over here and blue blobs over here. Like, could I go, off-screen, which is, I guess, why it's now lit up on the map. I had Diao Chan riding all the way to Chengdu just to see what was going on, because I knew it would be a major city later in the story. And I was wondering if there would be interesting quests and stuff there. Well, for one thing, the plank roads are completely full of tigers, which is just weird, because I was killing tigers and stuff, and, like, nobody patrolling whatsoever. It's like a major thoroughfare that had just been overrun with tigers, and there would even be other people walking along on the roads, and tigers would just show up and attack only the player character. But no, I mean, the idea of going in there and fighting in these little battles with, you know, Liang Gong versus Defense Base Captain, and taking over these little red spots and individually, like, making more of the map blue. No point there doesn't appear to be any point to that. Like, if you're trying to turn this into Dynasty Warriors Empires and stuff and make the different bases matter, it's just going to be an exercise in futility. Huge way to dump a lot of hours in. If you really enjoy the gameplay, and I find the gameplay rather bland overall, but if you really are into the gameplay, you can have hours of fun going around trying to manually take over a map and make all of China blue. But I don't know, that's the point. So we could drive off the thief, we could drive off the swindler, we could drive off Bearmaster. Defeat the suspicious Beastmaster that is manipulating a sloth of bears. Wow. That sounds interesting, but I know better. I could give chicken meat to a peasant. Collect materials to the person who requested them. Our reward will be chicken meat. Wait, what? If I give this peasant chicken meat, he will give me more chicken meat. Well, it just seems like it would be madness not to do the chicken meat quest, even though I said I wasn't going to do any quests. But just glancing at it, it appears I can go up to him and just automatically succeed. Alright, peasant. Yeah, Sun Clan, great. Alright, Cao Cao, who will one day rule this land, have come to deliver your chicken meat.
I'm actually having a bit of trouble. Do you have a moment to listen?
I need 3 chicken meat so that I can create 6 chicken meat. Sure, we will accept this quest.
Thank you so much. Oh, I knew you looked trustworthy.
Okay. Now if I go...
You were a big help. Here's a small token of my gratitude.
Yeah, I gave her 3 chicken meat, and in return I got experience gold and 6 chicken meat. What the hell, game? Combat training. Train the recruits. I'll get 5 leaf. I don't think that phone call is anything I need to worry about, but it's kind of hard to know. So I will ignore it for now and check if I have important missed messages later. Well, I suppose I could stall for time and wander over there and make sure that nobody I know is calling, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll stall for time. What do you folks think? Should I stall for time? Should I stall for time while I go and check my phone and see if that message was from... this message is... I missed a telemarketing call. Huzzah. I mean, I'm thinking about going to check that phone, but I won't do it because your time is too valuable. That's what I meant to say. All right. Bearmaster. I mean, part of me is just like, yeah, sure. I mean, how can we not go fight a Beastmaster? I mean, the guy came all the way through the portal of time. We owe it to him. to quickly defeat him. But I've also now lost the frickin' sound. So, crap. Yeah, hold on. But I'm pretty sure you guys didn't lose. I disconnected a wire as I went, but it was the one that lets me hear the game, not the one that was picking up my commentary, so we should be good. If not, I'll have post-commentary to do later. Huzzah. Alright, I'm off to a way less efficient start than I meant, but I'm just curious about the damn Bearmaster. Because I'll have to defeat him and a bunch of bears. So this seems like it might actually be... This one might actually be kind of fun to do. Oh, you, old man, want me to defeat a bunch of bears, eh?
You there? Yes, you. Will you please listen to what I have to ask?
It involves defeating bears. Okay. Let's do this. It says I have to defeat bears.
Thank you. I hoped I could count on you.
So, where are the bears? Okay. Well, it looks like they're not that far, which is good. It would be kind of weird. Oh, are they like 900 or... Oh, I thought they were like 90-something away. They're 900 away. Well, no, it's probably just as well that the Beastmaster and his army of bears are not within the walls of the city. That would be troublesome. Let me summon my powerful leveled up horse. Because, as Bobo noted many videos back, he was asking the question, well, why do you need a horse? Why do you need to get and level up a horse so the default horse is able to do things like jump off of cliffs, climb vertical mountains, swim with a rider on its back, all sorts of things a horse really shouldn't be able to do. And this is the default horse that hasn't been leveled up at all. But the answer is, I needed to buy a horse and level it up, because otherwise... Otherwise, it's like, how am I going to increase the level of my horse? How am I going to live with a horse who I can't increase the number that appears next to its name that refers to its level? I mean, come on, horse, teleport out of that water and come get me. I guess the game's not quite going to let me get away with that. Oh, but it is. Never mind, it just took him a minute. I guess the horse is faster than... discovered some red mace. I don't know how much I'm going to get into crafting, considering that other than having some trouble with Giao Chan's very first mission in her story mode, I really haven't had a whole lot going on with needing help with, you know... Oh, hey, he's looking for me. I guess I better pull out my sword, because I haven't done a lot of combat recently. I'm going to start with the Beastmaster in the hopes that the bears will be easier to defeat once the Beastmaster is gone. It looks like they're still wanting revenge. Surrender to me, bears! Well, it's certainly been more dangerous than other combat has been recently, fighting a whole group of bears, but... Did I manage to get, Oh, I guess I should reveal that I've changed my, my equipment somewhat. We've got we actually picked up some gems so that I got gems in all the slots. We now have something that boosts strength, something that restores Muso over time, something else that boosts strength, and I went ahead and got an item similar to the one that I always use. Not that you guys haven't seen this really. When playing Warrior, like Muso, Orochi, Warrior, whatever the hell that game series is called, Warriors Orochi 3, and doing that game, there's an item I tend to use an equipment slot for, where just any power-ups that enemies drop within a radius of you zoom up to you automatically, so you don't have to go manually running into them. Unfortunately, in this game, it doesn't work on those resources that you just find lying on the ground. So, like, if you find a cluster of, you know, whatever plant, you still have to pick it up manually. You can't just have it fly towards you automatically, which is a shame. Because that's the main thing I thought it was going to be useful for when I bought it. But I still keep it so that gold and health and Muso and anything else that's dropped in the middle of a fight, I don't have to take the time to go find it. It just comes over to me. So there you go. I was going to not do any more side quests, but then a side quest showed up that involved killing armies of bears, and I couldn't help myself.
You really saved me.
Because you personally were in danger from the group of bears lurking outside of the walled city? Okay. You know, the dilettante and the coin collector are like raising the roof over there. I wonder if my hunting score went up. I looked it up online because I was so confused.
Are you? I myself.
I was hunting off screen and my dilettante score never seemed to increase.
Hello again.
And it still looks like it has not. So I decided to buy a blight gem based on having 513 dilettante points, and to my surprise, I got everything else. Like, I bought this, and then suddenly everything at 500 less appeared in my inventory. I thought I would, like, gradually earn hunting points and cash them in. It turns out that you don't earn hunting points by hunting, per se. The most impressive quarry that you collect sets your hunting score. So if you go out and you headshot a tiger and that's worth 500 points, then you just have 500 points. And going around spending the next 2 hours shooting deer doesn't give you any points. But if you were to then, after defeating the tiger, find like a rare grizzly bear or something that's worth 600 points, killing that grizzly bear now means you have 600 points. And when you go to turn in your points, you get everything up to that level. So when I had 513 points and I went to try to buy the blight gem, I think I just got everything. Whereas now if I went and killed something that was worth 600 points, it would just add the ruby circlet. Which basically means, theoretically, there's something out there worth 9,000 points. And if you ever find it, then you get all these rewards, and there's no point in ever hunting again, except for the individual item drops that you get from hunting. So it's not as valuable as fishing, which just constantly gives you shit tons of money and is stupid. Coin collector guy.
I've got some great stuff here.
I don't know if these work the same. I'm thinking maybe they probably don't. I think you actually do turn these in as like a currency that you collect, which is why I haven't messed with it at all.
I appreciate your business.
So I've kind of I'm gonna go talk to these guys. So let's do some plot dialogue in town and then call it a video, because at this point I'm not going to advance the story. I got too distracted with doing a Jesus with the loaves and fishes trick, where I managed to multiply a quantity of chicken meat, and then I got distracted with bears.
What's on your mind, Master Li Dian? You normally do not look so glum.
Well, you normally do not speak so haltingly.
I've got a bad feeling that some sort of misfortune will soon be
See a Star
upon
Trek
us.
character? He's got a bad feeling about this.
What is there to be worried about? We're constantly welcoming new members to our ranks, and Master Cao Cao's army is growing by leaps and bounds.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. If possible, I'd like for us to remain in Shucheng.
I think there are bears outside waiting to get
It's not because
us.
I'm hoping to make things easier on us. I just have this strange feeling. That's all I can say with any certainty.
Well, I'm certain that you're feeling strange. So who else is worth talking to in town? I think we can just get little dialogues with all of these people. So somewhere in here we ought to be able to find, if I was reading the map correctly, Bojia and Cao, whatever his name is. Is this where you are? Here's where you are. They're paired off having little dialogues, basically.
We have managed to recruit some rather intelligent officers to our cause lately. I only mention it because I am their complete opposite.
Duh.
I truly envy people like that. They know everything that is going to happen in a battle.
Because I'm just dumbass.
No, Master Cao Cao. Strategists are not infallible, no matter how wise they may
Although
appear.
compared to you,
Each
we're
person
pretty
has
much
things
infallible.
that they are good or not so good at.
Me?
For example,
I'm not good at living
Master
past the age of
Shunyo
30.
is a master of strategy. He is one of the wisest in the land when it comes to matters of battle preparations and handling provisions.
Oh, he's like General
On
McClellan.
the other hand, when it comes down to actual battlefield tactics,
He sucks.
nobody can beat Master Shunyo. Everybody has
Shunyo,
their own field
dude.
of expertise. That holds
Shunyo
true
Gabba
for both
Gabba.
officers and strategists. Some people are good warriors, while others are good tacticians. They should focus on what they do best.
And get out of my way.
I get it. Thank you for your kind explanation. I vow to go out there and simply be myself whenever I'm on the battlefield.
Master Cao Cao, stop staring at us as we try to have our conversation. What the hell are you even doing here, you weirdo? Well, I'm not trying to fast travel. I just want to... Yeah, here we go. I just kind of want a clear path to... Like I said, I'm going to round out this video. Since we didn't really get any plot progress, I figure we'll get all of our little background dialogues out of the way so that next time we can jump straight into it. Hey, my old bros. What's up, dogs?
Hey, Cousin Dune. It's starting to become rather festive around here.
What do you mean? I don't see Christmas decorations.
I remember when it was just us and our Lord.
Somebody in my apartment complex still has a freaking Christmas
Cao Cao
wreath up, and
possesses
it's
a unique
March.
ability to draw people to him. However, our forces are still quite small compared to the other warlords. Our journey has just begun.
Boy, I'm sure glad we saw that dialogue. That's absolutely fascinating. But I'm committed to it now. I'm committed to the bit. Come on, grappling hook. Ninja rope. It's the way that Cao Cao built an empire. Double jump and a roll. Sweet. I'm only just getting in the right neighborhood with it. Well, what did you have to say, lady? Bullshit, lady.
Yuan Shu may be a noble, but he's empty inside.
I'll go with that, but you, old lady in pink, he's a frickin' sandal weaver, bitch. Don't even listen to that Liu Bei propaganda.
Master Shunyo, it is good to have you here with us.
And by us, I mean me.
Most of the Shun clan is serving beneath Master Yuan Shao. I am glad that your brilliant strategies are not in the employ of our enemy.
But you're in the Jun clan, aren't you?
Master Shun-E, you and many others have accepted Master Cao Cao.
Are you guys related? What's going on?
There's no need for concern. I know I have made the right decision. However, to be honest,
I feel bad for this guy. This is not the game in which you want to debut if you're going to make a splash with Dynasty Warriors fans.
Ended in failure.
No. Your ploy may have been discovered, but that does not diminish its brilliance.
No, it was a pretty lame
fact,
plan. It was
you
pretty
should
easy to
be
discover.
proud of your prodigious talent.
That failure cost me everything. But my time in prison taught me a valuable lesson. I now tend to focus
know
more
that I
intently
like
on the
being
problem at
violated by
hand
other men.
and how to approach it.
No, JG. Bad. Bad, JG. No, but yeah, so Dynasty Warriors fans tend to get really hyped up and excited about their favorite characters, even if for example, my fondness of Jing Sai boils down to probably in total less than 10 minutes of voice acted dialogue and scenes in Dynasty Warriors 5. But you just end up getting a soft spot for these characters anyway. Anybody who debuts in this game is fucked because there's a billion other characters and nobody really gets to do anything that important. Because it's all open worldy. So who's going to like latch onto that character that we just met talking to the other Jun and be like, wow, this is the character I think is super cool. Based on him mumbling something about his time in prison, he seems awesome.
Yes. My father has fallen victim to an
wow.
assassin's
So
blade.
we're supposed to be talking to...
However, I still have much
So if we
to
don't play as
accomplish.
Cao Cao, this is the dialogue
Get
that we can find him
I
having
need
as
you
we
to
stand in the
protect me
background
from
creepily.
our enemies.
Of course, my lord. I'll protect you, no matter how many enemies come your way.
Woohoo! And then Cao Hong is just kind of staring at John Wei going like, wow, he really is like one of the warriors of old.
My father has...
No! I thought I was going to talk to Cao Hong. Cao Hong is just a distractor. Alright. As silly as this is, we're actually going long now, so... Let's get one last dialogue. Don't even freaking remember who it was. Started running in the entirely wrong direction.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was my fault. Completely my fault. Horse is extremely patient with me. I mean, whether I'm asking it to climb great vertical heights or... Well, wait, where are these two guys that I came to listen to talk? Oh, there they are. Man Chung and Sao Ren, take us home.
My name is Man Chong. I have come here in order to join Master Cao Cao's cause. It is an honor to make your acquaintance.
You are too kind. I have heard that you are quite adept with defensive tactics, Master Manchong, and that you are also skilled with traps and siege weapons.
We should be friends, because that had been my
I too am
gimmick.
well versed in the art of defensive
So get out of the series. We only need one guy with that skill set.
to discuss tactics with you sometime.
Oh, I am honored to simply meet somebody who can comprehend my tactics, Master Cao.
Wow, he is full of
The key
himself.
is to focus on a constant push and pull with the enemy.
Honored
Push
to meet
forward
somebody who
while
can
appearing
understand his
strong,
brilliance,
and
eh?
pulling the enemy towards you while appearing weak. This goes for more than just defensive battles, of course.
I'm into pushing and pulling, tugging, you know.
It seems you could talk about this subject without end, Master Manchong.
So they're both giving each other backhanded compliments. Interesting. Manchong was a fun character for us in the RTK 10 Let's Play, because at one point he actually captured us, and I thought that was going to be it for the LP. I thought I had launched an unsuccessful attack on one of Cao Cao's cities that was defended by Manchong, and I thought that my in-game avatar, Zhou Yu, was going to be executed, and it did not happen. So I remember feeling like really, like it was a big tense cliffhanger. Was I going to get killed by Manchong? And then somebody pointed out in the comments that we had previously captured and released Manchong, which was... So the AI doesn't normally execute you unless you are a sworn enemy of the clan anyway, like if you'd killed a clan member. But it kind of made sense in story terms that we had released Manchong previously and he returned the favor. In this game, however, he's some ponytailed douchebag is like, I'm honored to meet someone brilliant enough to even understand what I'm saying. We'll have more of this kind of nonsense next time on The Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. See you then. Bye-bye.